Now I request my colleague Dr. Nagaraj Paturi ji, Senior Director and Chief Curator of Indica, to share few introductory comments as a beginning of the festival.
विदिताखिल शास्त्र सुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थ निधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं शंकर देशिक मे शरणम्. Welcome to this fourth edition of Global Festival of Oneness as a celebration of Shankara Jayanti, the birth of the avatara of Shankara Sakshat. The custom or the tradition of celebrating such days can be compared to reaching the central money of the Japamala. All the days of the year are like the different monies in the Japamala, during which there is no day on which we do not remember our Guru, our Daiva, our Bhagavadpada, our Paramatma, Adi Shankara. But we reach the central money of the Japamala on the day of Shankara Jayanti and then celebrate that we have reached this moment of Shankara Jayanti and then celebrate it. And the celebrations go to the extent of our happiness. A month-long celebration shows the degree of the mood of celebration. Years are passing, and year after year, we are reaching the newer vistas of knowledge about Shankara and the Vedanta that he has given to us. Advaita is a word that we keep using while referring to the school of Vedanta that was propounded by Shankaracharya. This became necessary because there came other words like Dvaita, Visishta, Advaita and others. Otherwise, the word used by Shankara at his time, interestingly, this is what even Swami Vivekananda of contemporary times does. It is the word only Vedanta that was used by Shankara. We have to remember that among the Shastras, among the Astika Darshanas, Vedanta was not there in its required position by the time Shankaracharya started his work. So the whole credit of bringing this Shastra, this particular Darshana, Vedanta, to the fore goes to Bhagavadpada Shankaracharya. Whichever other school of Vedanta today is proudly and happily participating in the propagation and participation of Vedanta is bound to be grateful to this Acharya who propounded the very Shastra of Vedanta, of which there could be other schools that they subscribe to. India is talked about all over the world for being an inner world centric society. All the Indic knowledge systems of India are given the credit that it is here in this system that the inner world centric practices form the core of the IKS Indic knowledge systems. And that core goes to this Shastra, Vedanta, and that credit of making this particular Shastra, Vedanta, the center, again goes to Shankaracharya. And whoever came to India, like scholars from Europe, like Carl Gustav Jung or anyone, they talk about concepts like Maya being spread in India to the nooks and corners, to the level of the tribal people and the communities that involved in leather work or in the agricultural labor, any other community. If you just see, these Vedanta ideas are so much seeped into the common masses of India. What mechanism, as a leader, Bhagavadpada Shankara would have adapted to make this possible is unimaginable. And if you just look at the historical condition, by the time Shankara was there, whichever later school of Vedanta today is flourishing had to face at that time non-Vedic schools, Avaidika schools, Nastika schools. So the Digvijaya of the Vaidika schools, Astika schools, on the basis of which all the other Vedanta schools today are flourishing, the whole credit goes to Bhagavadpada, Shankara only. There is no temple in India where there is no legend of Shankara visiting that temple and pacifying, they use that word, Shanti. It did Shanti, pacifying the deities inside the temple from being ugra and angry. Probably they meant that there were Vamachara practices that were happening in those temples or some other practice. Shankara can be given the credit of making all these temples follow Samayachara, Dakshinachara, Agama practices. We talk of Shanmata Sthapanacharya also, and people talk of some fight among these Shanmatas and Shankara creating a unity of among all these cultures. That's a different historical question that we can deal with. But today, if we are able to see the Panchayatana Puja in houses, the credit can be given to Shankaracharya. There is a whole list of achievements of Bhagavadpada Shankaracharya. All these in a very short span of his lifetime he achieved. And he established Amnaya Pithas And today, we are not just celebrating the fourth edition, we can celebrate that the global science research is also at least feeling to have come closer to Advaita Vedanta. There are articles after articles talking about this year's Nobel Prize winners, talking about the unreality of at least at a local level of the Jagat. Among the core concepts of Vedanta, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, and Brahman, at least some of the concepts like connecting Jiva, the consciousness, with Jagat and the role of Jiva in the perception of Jagat is being reached by some strides in quantum mechanics today. And I recently discovered that the political philosophies like integral humanism of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya are indebted to Shankara's Advaita Vedanta. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya openly acknowledged this. He's being indebted to Shankaracharya who have developed his integral humanism. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that there was a oneness statue that was established in Madhya Pradesh, and a whole center developed around that oneness statue, and a museum and a library developed around it. When there was a talk of a similar statue that was being developed in Hyderabad, I was wondering why such a thing did not happen with regard to Jagadguru Shankaracharya. But now when I came to know about this statue, I'm very happy that it happened. This year in the Global Festival, we are including a talk on this aspect also. Every year we are trying to be innovative and fresh in paying our obeisance to Shankaracharya in a newer and newer way. This year we are doing it with some new additions of ideas and thoughts. Nitin Sridharji is curating those ideas well. Thanks to Nitin Sridharji.